Okay, so welcome to this Fireside Chat where we're talking to business leaders about what they thought was really important during lockdown and now what's changed now that we're actually back to the busy. So today I've got with me James Graffis. Welcome, James.
Thanks. Hey.
Hey, so James is founder of James People.
Well, yeah.
You probably worked that out, given the
namesake, all that kind of stuff, yeah.
It's a good name there, James. And yeah, so James is actually one of those really unique individuals that is probably just one of the few people actually that I enjoyed talking to during the lockdown because you were really positive, just real clear, strategic thinking, and added real value to me at that time. So I think, I know you and I talked a bit and it wasn't long after lockdown we thought, hey, let's do this fireside chat. Yeah, so I guess I wanted to start just by asking you, what did you think was important? What did you think you would change sort of coming out of lockdown?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about lockdown was that it was a reset point, right? It was like everything stopped in a way that I could never have predicted. I think, I know no one's used this word, so it would be a pretty unusual word to use, but it was almost unprecedented. But I think for me, coming out of it, it was a refocusing on what's actually most important. Talking to a lot of the clients or businesses I work with, they're all kind of going like, what was our original purpose? You know, like almost that return to original intent, which we don't do often enough.
Yeah, that's right.
And so they're going, well, why did we start this company? And I've actually got one of my clients has ditched an entire business unit that they were trying to start, and they're putting all the people that were in that back into the core of what they were actually all about in the beginning. Because they're like, well, it's not growth at any cost. It's not growth for growth's sake. What are we actually trying to do? Because they thought they knew, but they never saw this coming. So
I know for us too, when you talk about closing down some of those peripheral things, so during lockdown we did the same. There's a couple of things a couple of business units that we actually shut down, and it's made us more profitable and helped to reduce some of the busyness as well, I guess.
How did you make those decisions?
Predominantly financial was probably, I guess, in having the time to actually stop and think, because you actually start them and you stay committed to them, and it's really hard to actually walk away from that commitment, because as a leader you're kind of thinking, I don't want to walk away, I can't just walk away from hard things, and it's not until you actually stop that you go, actually that's not critical. And not only that, but it's costing too much, and we can do it better, different. So we're banking on doing things different, and we still haven't done all those things yet. So hopefully, by doing those things different, we no longer need those other things.
Yeah. And how do you navigate that as a leader when you're trying to move people in a direction, but the vision becomes less clear short term? How do you kind of keep everybody on track? Yeah,
well, that's interesting.
I keep asking you questions, then you won't have to ask me. I would have to come up with the answers.
I can see where you're going with this. I didn't expect it to be this way. But you're right, though. Vision can be challenged, and you've just got to keep selling the dream. But what I've found is a real keenness to actually, just as you say, to reset. Everyone's like, we've just got to do this different. So it's actually been quite easy, I think. It's probably almost harder to go forwards just doing everything the same, Yeah.
What brings you the most joy at the moment? Sorry, big question.
Yeah, it's a good question, because the trick has been content.
Yeah, nice.
And I wish I had a really good answer for that. I think I'm being at home with my family, and I know for a lot of people, for any of us, that can be stressful. But I live in paradise, right? And I love my family, I love spending time with them. So if I can have part of my day where I'm at home working, that will bring me joy. Now that's not realistic all the time, because business, takes you all over the place. But I don't have to travel at the moment. I can't travel overseas, so
so that's a big one.
Yeah.
So have you noticed anything has changed in you with not being able to travel?
Yeah, well, one way to answer that is we are actually, because all the shows, a lot of our sales are through home shows and field days and things like that, where I have to travel to Australia or Canada or just across New Zealand. So those are all cancelled. So we're actually creating our own show. and it's actually based on what Curate did and the way they delivered their gatherings online.
Right.
And we're going to actually have a live streamed but an in-person show, and if that's successful, that's going to probably keep me at home another 20 weekends a year.
Yeah.
You know?
That's huge.
Yeah. That's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive. I wanted that to stop. That's what you asked me before, you know, where you made the comment about, well, hey, we all knew we had to, what we wanted to stop, but you needed to slow down to work out how to stop it. And I don't want to be away at shows all the time, you know, but I still want our customers to see our product. So it's trying to get clever.
Helping them connect to the product
Yeah.
without you having to physically stand in front of them.
That's right.
You know, because they don't need that.
No.
Like, that's not the bit that they value, really. You know, I mean, the conversation's important.
Yeah.
Understanding the product's important.
Yeah.
But where you are in the world is not, you know, that's not the thing that should be selling fires, right?
Yeah,
You know,
that's right.
so-
It doesn't have to be, eh?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be. It's just about using technology and just getting clever about that. Yeah.
So how far do you think that could go? Like, do you think, you know, office staff at your business, do you think long term that they could work from home?
The working from home thing's really fascinating. There's so much value in actually getting together as well. So I think it's got to be both, because there's an energy that you get as a team from working together. It's much easier to talk to someone face to face than on Zoom.
That's true.
So much more efficient. But yeah, I think it comes down to whether you trust your staff, partly for me, and I know I can, so that's a given. It's about breaking tradition. Even at my age, you know, it's that thing of 8 to 5 or whatever.
Go to work.
Yeah, go to work.
Got to go to work.
Got to go to work. You know, you're 2 minutes late. Well, you're late. You know, it's that kind of.
Yeah.
It's that kind of mentality. So, I think there's definitely space for people to take time to do what's important for them as well as perform at work.
Yeah.
Without it necessarily costing me having to employ another employee or whatever.
And what impact did it have on your productivity when you were, you know, forced to work from home in your role?
I think I was more productive.
Okay.
In fact, I reckon I was at least 60% more productive.
And what about your family?
Yeah, they struggled initially because I was sitting right here and they just wanted to play.
Right.
And I had to remind them, you know, hey, actually, I'm trying to keep the business alive here. We're working. And once they got that, they were fine. You know? But so I think working from home with the family, there has to be some agreement about what that looks like.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah.
And so, coming out of lockdown, you posted on a Facebook page, one of the New Zealand products pages, and I saw it went crazy, like hundreds and hundreds of things and stuff. What do you think the future of that is? Do you think that there's a real movement that'll last toward you know, Kiwis wanting to support New Zealand businesses? And I don't think that was really that large. I mean, when I was probably in my, like as a kid, I remember there being like lots of Kiwi-made stuff.
Right.
It was a really big deal.
Yeah,
Do you remember that? There was like the fern on everything.
Yeah.
I feel like, oh no, it was a Kiwi actually.
It was a Kiwi. It did change a few times, but by New Zealand made.
Yeah, and I feel like that dropped away and it became, you know, whatever company has the coolest products, you know, like let's just go to that big department store that used to be really rubbish and is now really cool, you know, the one that everyone goes to, and walk around it for hours and find something to buy, even though none of it really comes from New Zealand.
That's right, it's all from China.
And there's been a shift, so how deep do you think that'll go?
Well, I think it's significant because it's not just about the New Zealand made thing, but it's a new way for people, because they couldn't go shopping. And so all of a sudden we were hearing about all these companies that we've never heard about before. And you're just seeing all these products coming through and you're going, actually, this is better than going to a show, because people are not going there and being sold stuff as you walk past my fire. I'm not having to try and sell you. People are engaging with the ones they want to engage with. So I think that's the future.
What's your favourite interview question?
Well, I actually start asking now about their family, and when I look at each of my employees, the ones that perform, I can look at their families and go, you know, they've come from a good family. It might not be. I don't mean good as in stereotypical mother father, you know, blah blah blah. They've had some good role models in their life. So that's probably what I should be asking is about their role models, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's actually one of my favourite interview questions is who do you look up to?
Right.
Like,
Right.
who are your heroes?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I think
I
that
like
is
that.
that is actually a good way of trying to figure out, you know, what do they value? Because
Yeah.
typically the things that we look up to are the things that we value, you know. So
Yeah.
people,
Right.
you know, people. I went through a stage where I really looked up to Steve Jobs. He was the main guy.
Right.
But part of it was because I was like, he was relentless and hard and strong,
Yeah.
you know. And I was like, that's so cool.
Yeah, you were so
and,
soft.
And then I realized that like that does not work, right? And you know, and if he were around now, maybe we'd have some cool technology, but his style would be getting murdered right now. Can you imagine a leader like him in the world right now? Like, you know, that the company would be revolting under his leadership because that's just not the way we do things anymore.
No, it's
which
true.
has got to be positive, right?
It's so much more positive. There was an age where we could just be hard and brutal and relentless, but actually it's much nicer to be graceful and compassionate and to have. I was saying this to my team just yesterday. I was saying, man, you guys are awesome. The fact that I can come in, it feels like family.
Yeah.
And it actually feels like it's part of your family. That's what you want. That's what you want, isn't it? You don't want to be at work hating it or hating the person that's sitting
and
next
then you
to
want to be firm. I mean, one of the things, but I don't think it needs to be at odds with those things. You know, one of the things that I've really come to realize is that clear is kind. You know,
being real clear.
Just clear is kind.
You're a dick.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, if it is how it is, there might be another way to say it.
Right.
You're not a dick. No, that's actually not clear, is it?
No.
But clear is kind. You know, like it is actually good to be straight with people.
So you've got to be kind with your clearness, right?
Yeah,
you can't just say
both.
you're a dick. You've got to say, hey, we've got some issues here we need to talk about.
Yeah, totally.
But let's talk about it.
Well, approach it the way that you'd want to approach with you. I think that's always the key thing, you know, and valuing the person above the thing.
Yeah.
But one of the, I've got a client that's been really struggling with someone for a long time, and you know, one of the things I'm encouraging them with is like, because I love grace and I love giving people a long time and patience. I think it's really valuable, but it's not loving to allow someone to behave badly long term.
No, that's right.
At some point it switches from being gracious and patient to enabling bad behavior, and you're teaching them. You're always teaching. Like I find that leaders are always teaching, whether they know it or not. And what you're teaching in that case is that actually that kind of behavior is fine.
It's fine.
And if you say it's not, but you don't do anything about it, you know, a lot of the time I'll meet with clients and go, what are your values? And they'll tell me their values.
Yeah.
And then I'll go like, okay, cool. So tell me about the last few people that you fired.
Right.
And they'll tell me, I'll be like, what about the last few people that you hired?
Yeah.
And what about the last few people that you promoted?
Right.
Tell me about them. So they tell me about them, and then I'll tell them what their values are.
Yeah.
Because the values that they actually have are the things that they value. They're the things that they hire, fire, and promote.
Value.
And often what companies will say is we value care, and we value great customer service, and we value working together and learning and all these sorts of things. But the truth is what they value is sales targets. Or production output, you know. And
it's best to be clear. If that's not bad,
just be straight up about it.
You just got to say, actually, we just want you to sell. We don't actually care whether you're this or that.
And here's the thing: if you do that, then be willing to accept the fact that person, if it's all about money for you, then it's going to be all about money for them. So they're going to be the person that's knocking on the door constantly, going, "Can I get a pay rise?" Fair game, because that's what it's all about. You know. Whereas if you're going to sell them on values that are about people. Because we have biases, right? And so I think we have to...
I don't, but carry on.
Right. Most of us have biases. Yeah. So, but we have to get away from... that somehow. And so I think some of the cool stuff that's coming out now is ways of quantifiably measuring people's performance and outputs in such a way that you can go, do they justify moving up into a new role, getting a new opportunity? Not based on whether I like them or not. You know, but based on whether they merit it or not. Because often we think we work that way, but if we look around our leadership team 10 years on, we realise that the people we're assembling around us are the ones that we like. You know, and they're the ones that are a little bit more like us. And so there's a lot of challenges for business leaders to do a better job of that.
But isn't that what I was saying before a little bit about I like these people that I'm working with? Because I don't want to be at a place where I don't like them. You know what I mean? And that's the toughness of it, like the Steve Jobs or whatever, where you're like, actually I don't care, it's just work. I'm going to get what I want, whatever I want with whoever I want. Whereas actually I want to go to work and really like the people I work with.
Yeah.
So if I know our staff is underperforming, he will know. And he knows if I have an issue with them, he's going to know about it.
That's good,
Yeah.
right? How do you find people respond to that?
Probably should ask them. I think at times they find it a bit brutal.
And is that what you want from others, though?
Yeah, I want to know. I find so few people tell me what they actually think about me.
How's he doing? Do you want to let's give him some honest feedback?
Luke gives me some feedback.
Does he?
He does. He gives me good feedback. But so I'm amazed at the amount of times I've spoken to. I've gone looking for advice from consultants, and I think it's what I valued about you. And they won't actually be honest with you. They won't say, "You've just been a dick. You've actually you've stuffed that up. You need to do it different." I love hearing that. Because I want to be better next time. And I value that the most of all feedback is tell me how I can do better.
I think it's one of those things where, like, I think one of the most incredible things we can do for someone is tell them who
they are. Yeah.
You know.
In a real positive way.
Yeah.
As in not you're a dick, but
But the
actually
truest thing of the person is never the dickness.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
The truest thing of the person is always
Yeah.
that deeper truth
Yeah.
of like, and we can see it, right? Like
Yeah.
if we just, doesn't matter whether you're a person of faith or
Yeah.
whether you want to call it the universe or whatever,
Yeah.
if you access that deeper thing and go, you know, what is it saying about this
Yeah,
person?
that's
Like,
right.
what is this person actually at their truest self?
Yeah, what is,
you know,
who are they? What is their purpose?
and that's how you deal with performance too, right? Like at the early stages,
Yeah.
if someone's lying to you, you want to call out the fact they're a person of truth. Because you know they can be a person of truth.
Yeah.
And if you can pull that out of them, you succeed. And if they can't do that while they're with you, then they go and hopefully they'll learn it elsewhere.
Yeah.
But you know what? They'll remember that you said it.
Yeah. That's right. Well, I think that's a real positive way to finish, James. Calling out the best in people through restructure, through the challenge of having to employ new people, having to deal with the team you've got left. As leaders, trying to see the best in people is always, when life at home might be a bit messed up, might be a bit challenged, you know, who knows what's going on in the world, health-wise or marriage-wise or relationship-wise or your kids, but trying to find that energy to actually lead well.
And it energizes you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it certainly does. And so that's a real challenge, man. So thanks for that. Appreciate your time. So that's us. So that's our Fireside Chat. Definitely check out James' people. We're in New Zealand. If you're overseas, he might want to help you overseas. I don't know.
Depends if it's exotic enough.
If it's exotic, that's pretty much anywhere. So that's okay. And so thanks for hanging out. We're going to do this again. And let's remember, as we go back to the busy, just think about the routines you can change, the patterns you can change to find health. Yeah?
Health, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
So here's to good health, James.
It's good health. Hey, you poured me more wine.
I did.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate.